What is up, you guys? My name is Noah and this is Tech New. Before we begin, I just want to thank you all for 7,000 subscribers. That's a huge milestone to me, even though it may seem small. For all of you who have subscribed, it means so much to me. And hopefully one day this channel may go somewhere. So thank you all for contributing to this cause, to my channel. Anyway, this is going to be about an app that I recently discovered, or more specifically, a third-party keyboard that I've begun using. Since third-party keyboards were available, starting with iOS 8, any of them that I've used have just seemed kind of gimmicky and dumb, and the designs haven't really been, I don't know, they haven't really matched with iOS. And recently, as I told you, I found one that I really enjoy using and I wanted to share with you guys, and this is called Gboard. It's by Google, and it's a swipe-based keyboard, and today I'm going to tell you the 5 reasons why I love using this keyboard and how it's benefited my use with my phone and iPad. So the first reason is design. It's very similar to the iOS keyboard, and I like it. I always have liked the iOS keyboard, and I've actually liked this design better. It's not as bold, it's not as in your face, and you know, it's just as simple and just blends right into the UI. So the other great part about the design of this keyboard is the fact that you can set custom themes for it. They offer a few default themes, such as the light default theme, which I've been using, and the dark default theme, which also looks very nice. They also offer a few landscape backgrounds to set behind your keyboard, which are kind of stupid. I don't really prefer them at all. But the best part about the theming is the fact that you can set a custom image to appear behind your keyboard, whether you use a picture that you've already taken or a picture that you saved offline. So when you set a custom image, you can decide how much of a black overlay you want to appear above that image. And also you can enable or disable key borders, which makes a really clean looking keyboard. So, you know, I could play around with this all day. I could figure out what is the best combination for me. But for the purposes of this video, I'm just gonna stick to the light default theme. So number 2 is the swipe functionality. Yeah, it's not the newest thing, it's been around for a while. If you're an Android user, I'm sure you're very familiar with it, but as an iPhone user, I'm not very accustomed to it, and I have used it in the past, but like I said, the keyboards that I've used in the past have just felt gimmicky, and the designs don't really coincide with Apple's operating system. But the Gboard one does, as I've said previously, and the swipe has really benefited me, and this is like the main reason why I love this keyboard so much. It combines a great design and a swipe-enabled keyboard. And why I find swipe so useful is because number 1, I have a really tiny little phone. It's the iPhone 5S. I still haven't upgraded yet, and it's really hard not to miss keys and not to mistype a lot. So being able to just type and swipe, you know, and get to, you know, spell longer words, you can just really, you know, input text a lot quicker than you would just by typing. Now, I do a mixture of both because this keyboard is obviously not perfect. It gets some lingo like LMAO or LOL. It works fine with that, but for some things, you know, it's gonna correct it and make it into proper English. English, mother. English. So be aware of that. But the swipe functionality is incredibly useful. It makes me more efficient while I'm typing, and overall it really has enhanced the way that I use my phone. Number 3, this is really small, but this is really useful, and I haven't seen this on other keyboards that I've used in the past. In the Gboard keyboard, the global keyboard or the keyboard changer button and the emoji button are separate, so you don't have to press down and select a certain keyboard. It's just annoying. This makes it so much easier. It's this tiny little detail that makes this keyboard valuable to me. Detail. Number 4, Google search is baked into this keyboard, and you know, it's kind of obvious this keyboard is made by Google, but this is not just a gimmick. It's actually a very useful little feature. You can make quick Google searches right within your keyboard. Like say you want to fact check yourself or prove someone wrong in an argument, it's right there. You're not going to be able to open up web pages, but you can, you know, get some basic information from Google searches. You can also search Google Images and GIFs on Google Images and copy and paste them directly into say hi messages, which is great. And it's a little bit limited, but keep in mind this is Google Images. It's not some third-party pool of data that you can pull from. This is Google, which is great. Reason number 5 is familiarity, and this kind of coincides with design, but really this keyboard feels the same, looks the same, aside from the fact that it's a swipe-based keyboard Everything is there, but what's really important, and I'm really happy, is that the predictive text feature is still there, because I use it, often enough to kind of rely on it. And thankfully, this keyboard also has its own form of dictation. This is via Google Voice. My only complaint about this is it's a little bit obtrusive. It takes up your whole screen while you're dictating versus just the keyboard, but hey, it works, and it works very well. Like I said, the design is very similar to that of the iOS default keyboard. Now, of course, with any app, there's going to be a few downsides. Like all third-party keyboards, it's going to be a little bit slow to pop up, when you're in Spotlight Search or certain apps. Sometimes it's not going to be there, but honestly, that's a thing that we all have to deal with, third-party keyboards that you download off the App Store. The second and last downside is if you decide to remove the default English keyboard temporarily in order for your experience to be a little more seamless, so you won't have to constantly change to your third-party keyboard. The only place where it's not going to show up is the lock screen. So you're going to want to reply to a message on the lock screen. It's not going to pop up. And the bad part is that the standard English keyboard doesn't pop up. This kind of bare bones keyboard pops up, which does not have predictive text, nor any kind of autocorrect or dictation. So that's the downside, but hey, this third-party keyboard is awesome and it makes up for it. If you don't know how to install a third-party keyboard, all you have to do is download it off the App Store and read the directions, but more specifically, you have to download it, go into your settings, go into General, Keyboard Settings, and then you have to enable the keyboard within your settings. And once you enable it, I recommend that you delete your default keyboard so it doesn't interfere when you're using it, and you have to tap onto the keyboard and allow full access so the keyboard can fully function. And that about wraps up this video. I hope this helped you out in some way. I love this keyboard personally, and I thought it was great enough to share with you guys. Tell me what you think if you end up using it, and if you have any apps that you'd recommend that I use and maybe review like this. So other than that, I will catch you all in the next video. Bye now.